Hi, everybody. I'm Loryan Strant, and welcome to another episode of 365 Unplugged. And I'm joined, as always, by the vivacious
Alistair Pugin.
And before we get into the topic of conversation, Al, I want to. What's on your ears? What is this device you've got?
Ooh, can people see that?
No, it just still looks like a headset. There we go. There's the logo.
Oh, it's their logo.
So these are the Surface headphones, which now you can't hear me. I could say Al's a dick. Oh,
yeah, I did hear that. These are the Surface headphones. Yes. So, are you wanting a verdict on what I think about them?
No, that's for another thing.
For another show when we talk.
We don't do sponsorships and and biased opinions here. So topic of conversation for me, it was hashtag feature parity when it comes to Teams and Skype. What have you got?
That is so old. I want to talk about everything modern. I had a slide in one of my sessions at Microsoft Ignite the Tour, and it said everything modern. And last week, between Chris McNulty, Dan Ohm, Mark Cashman, they just dropped some crazy everything modern stuff. So I want to talk about classic versus modern, and you doing Skype versus Teams. So, yeah.
Paper, rock, scissors, this. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Oh, come on. All right. Rock, beat, scissors.
Oh, crushed. Every time.
Modern stuff.
Modern stuff. Yes.
What's modern stuff? Modern workplace? Future ways of working? Or are we talking about SharePoint?
I am talking about the original modern, which is SharePoint, because everyone else followed after that.
Well, technically, the original modern would be Windows 8.1 tiles, because when they had to ditch Metro, they went to modern.
Metro, and then they got sued, for SkyDrive.
Yeah.
But modern, I did a session on SharePoint sites and portals and around employee engagement. And the big push was modern. I had about 160 people in my room, and we had a faction of people complaining about modern. Modern sucks. We can't move there. The page nation is broken, and I can't scroll and all of these things. And on the back of that, in this week's episode of Two Guys on SharePoint, we actually talk about the modern features that were released or talked about. Well, it's coming up for SharePoint Online. And I'm very excited about it because the one thing I'm excited about is document sets in SharePoint. Those little known things called document sets.
Sorry.
It's okay. True custodians of knowledge management understand the impact of document sets on the world. But does it really impact when you look at document management inside of SharePoint? So everything modern. We started with modern pages, we've got the hero web part, and everyone's excited. And on how to create this really cool intranet, and you've got hub sites and com sites, right? But what impact has that had on the traditional SharePoint company that uses SharePoint, should I say? Because
and look, we had an episode about this. I think one of our earlier episodes, the first ones, I think, was about the future of SharePoint in the new, SharePoint consultancies in the new world of SharePoint. And what we're alluding to is the modernization of SharePoint kind of makes it so easy to use for an end user. Do you still need a SharePoint consultant? And I think that I completely get it. As a person who's been using SharePoint since SharePoint Portal Server 2001.
Tahoe to today. From Tahoe to today.
We're that old. It's been quite disheartening to, I guess I've never seen a product that has been kicked as much when you look at the previous version. So, when SharePoint 2007 came out, they're like, oh, this is so much better than 2003. That was rubbish. This is great. 2010 came out, same thing. 2013 came out, same thing. 2016, not so much. And now we're in this modern online world. But I think the modern thing is fascinating because there's all these new features that got released at Ignite last year. They're like, oh, we can do this. We can have all these modern web parts that look at other web parts. Like, we used to have those. You took them away, remember?
What is it called? Was it a data connection that you could configure between two web parts?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, but I think the thing is, as painful as it is, and I haven't been a SharePoint practitioner for a number of years, as a person who kind of sits across all of Office 365, and I'm kind of the person who's trying to get a cattle prod into some clients and get the rah-rah going for them to use the platform. I think the modernization of SharePoint, which you could almost also say is the stupification of SharePoint. Sorry, simplification.
Wow.
Simplification. No, look, I think what it's done is it's made it that the average end user, hey, we're unplugged, aren't we? The average end user can now build an intranet of sorts.
The average citizen developer.
No, I'd say the average person. The way I actually quote it is, if you know how to manipulate, if you know how to move things around in Publisher, you can do SharePoint now.
But look at it, right? So the last bastion of the IT pro for SharePoint is now officially gone.
Oh, I wouldn't completely agree with that. I'd say it's around things like custom development and Power Apps, things where you've got to go deep. But I think the margin is decreasing.
Look at it, right? So circa 2010 or 2013, it doesn't really matter. We'd go out there and create a custom page layout, a custom master page, and some CSS to go with it, right?
Yep.
With modern, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I remember when you used to have to pay somebody to build a mobile version of your page, whereas now just automatically resizes for the screen that it's on.
Yeah.
I saw a really good comment from somebody a number of years ago. And when I said a number of years ago, that's how many years I've still been doing Office 365, that this was still relevant back then, was they said was you used to pay 25,000 euros or dollars, pounds, whatever, to a SharePoint consultant to give you a very high level architecture. And then you'd go and build the service and the farm and then customize and do all those kind of things. Whereas $25,000 now gets you an intranet. And the thing is, I almost see that comment is almost now less relevant, because I don't need $25,000 to build me an intranet. I could probably build it in 2 days, probably even less.
Well, look, there's still validity to buy intranets out of a box.
Yep, we've talked about that.
Yeah, there's still huge value in that, because for the most part, and I've spoken to, strangely enough, I've spoken to 3 companies over the last 2-3 days. As much as you can have pretty, if you don't understand information architecture, it's all information methane and a content black hole. I had a customer say to me, we've got a couple of terabytes of content. If we move it to SharePoint, what about the metadata? So I said to them, but you don't need metadata in SharePoint. You can literally take that folder that's on your file share and drag it into a document library and it'll work. They did not know that. But this is the world. I mean, my session at Ignite around SharePoint, the greater majority, I'm talking over 80% of the room, was citizen developers, business users that are excited about SharePoint and what they can do with it. It's no longer the IT pro that goes, "Ooh, I can build this farm," or "Ooh, I got this cool master page," and "Ooh, I got this cool web part, and I can revolutionize the business." Business is revolutionizing business, because SharePoint Online with Modern is giving them the opportunity to really excel at being able to create these rich experiences. I mean, think about it. You've got
So go on.
Hero web part, event roll-up, all the roll-ups that you have, consuming news, relevant information. So audiencing. I mean, audiencing in Modern is so much better than audiencing ever was. And I spent a lot of time doing audiencing. I'm not the designer type. I'm not going to go prettify. That's for Tracy and everyone else that works in the user experience space. But I can really, really, really see huge value in having heroes. Well, the hero web part, the roll-up inside of a communication site where you can embed a Yammer feed in. Look, Yammer's always been badgered and lambasted. Didn't matter if they gave it a version number like they gave SharePoint. It's the same shit, right? So they were fortunate. They just got nailed all the time. We are unplugged. So in the defense of you nailing SharePoint as the worst product from version to version, because people...
No. I didn't say that. I said that I was amazed to see how much previous versions got kicked.
Okay.
I think, though, what's interesting is if we look at, circa 2007 when the iPhone came in, and effectively CIOs walked into the IT department and handed them this device and said, make it work. I want my email on this, not on a BlackBerry. And I think that, we then kind of, that almost launched the wave of the consumerization of IT, where the consumer technologies were overtaking the enterprise tools.
Yeah.
So I almost think that modern is kind of that same thing, where it's an end user centric experience overtaking the complex enterprise side of things. And I think that, there'll probably be many organizations that don't want modern because they need their intranet built a certain way. But I actually saw a proposal that was sent to a client of mine actually in the last couple of weeks, and it was a SharePoint company. And they looked at they were saying that, hey, here's how we can build your intranet. Here's how we can build these team sites, blah, blah, blah. And I looked at them and went, they're horrible. I could make them better out of the box using modern. It would look infinitely better out of the box using modern, as opposed to what you have built yourself. Because the thing is, they're still going for the same block look of like, hey, tiles.
Yeah. But yes, I'm excited about the future of SharePoint when it comes to modern. And I think the naysayers that are still clinging to the classic user experience needs to actually embrace what's new and look at the advantages of it. If they're still holding on to it because they can build and then build a customer, I completely understand. Whereas now, being able to add a column, quick edit, adding a label, inside of it, you don't even have to go to the settings tab of a library to do all of those things.
Yep.
It's right there.
And also, you think about like end user SharePoint training is you used to actually have to go off to like a 3-day training course to be a SharePoint administrator. Now, I'm not saying that undervaluing what proper training can do for people, but the way I kind of equate it to clients is because of this modern, I could show you how to edit a page and what a web part is. And if you have the basics, and in probably half an hour, you will know enough to go and build your team site, or at least make iteration 1.
And it doesn't break stuff.
No.
That's the cool thing. It is, they have proofed the environment, SharePoint Online, where in the old days, you could do something and you break the entire page layout and then nothing works. In today's world, it's not like that. It's much easier to work through something and prototype something without worrying about the impact it's going to have on the rest of your environment. So yes,
are we saying that we like modern?
I love modern. Now that their document sets are available, I love modern. I can actually do proper information architecture, including document sets now. So think about it this way. I work for a healthcare provider, and I've got a patient record.
Okay.
With document sets, I can have a primary identifier being the patient's social security number, or if they, not that I don't think anyone's name is unique, but their social security number, and I can group by that. Yeah. Okay, I haven't searched for Loryan. I think Alistair Pugin is also unique, but there's James Smith. I think Smith is the largest surname in the world currently.
Is that the name of your beard? It was the James.
No, this is James.
The James.
This is James. He's singular. He's not plural. He doesn't have a surname. It's the James. And he's back from a hiatus to Aspen. He came back earlier on in Jan. Yeah, so he's back. But yes, I'm saying that I love modern.
So basically, people like Mark Cashman, Jeff Teeper, they can rest at night now, knowing that we think they're doing a good job.
Oh, for sure, for sure. After they've watched this video, it's no more psychology. It's no more going on a Tuesday afternoon, sitting down and telling the psychologist about how they feel. It's gone. It's gone. We've solved that problem for the SharePoint and OneDrive team in Seattle.
Fantastic. Look at us go. All right. Thanks, everybody. We have solved modern and helped Mark Cashman's sleeping issues.
Just yes.
All right. Bye.